I'm curious, my friends, when you folks think about overthinking, what comes to mind? And please don't overthink about overthinking. But what comes to my mind is, it can be an individual who is thinking about a situation, or could be thinking about a particular interaction. And what they end up doing is they end up unnecessarily thinking about different hypotheticals and what ifs that add no necessary information to the story. And what end up doing is they can create anxiety, and they can create false thoughts, and they can create anger and sadness. So for example, one thing I can tell you is, let's say you go to school with someone, and or whatever, you just see someone. You say hi to them, they act kind of cold towards you. You don't know why, they just ignore you. You know, that's weird. Now, an overthinker, what they would do is they start playing it back. What did I do? Did I say something? Did I ruin her day? Did she hate me? Did she find about that one time back 6 years ago when I ate her cupcake when I promised her that I didn't? Right? And then you start losing it, right? When in reality, my friends, it might just be she's having a headache. Maybe she didn't hear you. Maybe it's just, I don't know, right? Like there's a logical solution, right? But whether there is a logical solution, there isn't, that's not the point. The point is you overthinking about something, putting extra emphasis on an idea or a subject doesn't always get you closer. I think, whenever people talk about think about something, examine it, analyze, there is a little bit of, all right, man, you're in a situation. Let's think about the pros. Let's think about the cons. That is totally normal. Fantastic. 2 thumbs up. The part where I think people start tripping out is that you go, okay, there's one pro here, there's one pro here. One pro here, one pro here. And I say, okay, great, which one? But I don't know, man, this is another pro. Like, okay, so this one. I don't know, man, but that is another pro. And you can just keep going. One of the reasons I do not love the pro and con game is that you can bend the rules with subjectivity. Is that you can squint your eyes and tilt your head and look at it from a certain angle where you can just start making up pros, or you can start making up cons, and you can lean one way or the other. So my big thing is, if you're in a situation, and this is, again, one of the biggest things that has decreased my stress in the last couple of years. Whenever I'm in a situation, I go with my gut feeling. I know I've said this before, but I'll say it, I go with my gut feeling. And then afterwards, when I'm at home or chilling out, you know what? I'm not going to lie. I'm human. Of course, we think about our past. We think about our memories, what we've done. And immediately when I start thinking about, oh, should I have done this instead of that? What if this happened? What if that didn't happen? My immediate mind goes, Daniel, with the information that you had presented at that moment, you did what you thought was most appropriate. This is hindsight bias. I can't look back and judge myself and go, oh, I knew that was going to happen. Right? When Jose Aldo got knocked out by Conor McGregor in 14 seconds, sure, you can look back and go, yeah, obviously, I knew he was going to get knocked out. He was undefeated for 10 years. It was time. No, man, you didn't know that. Nobody knew that. But it's easier looking back. Right? Another problem that I have with overthinking is overthinking usually leads to negativity. And what I mean by that is you don't often hear someone overthink and just like in a super positive way about it, right? Like it usually takes a turn. It usually takes a bad turn, right? For example, let's say you're outside, right? You almost got in a fight with somebody and then you go home. Now you're thinking about it, and negative overthinking might be something like, man, maybe I should have done something. Maybe I should have stood up to him. What if, my girlfriend was there? What if he would have done this? What if he would have done that? That's negative. But what if somebody thinks positively about overthinking? Like, I don't even know where I'm taking this. This is just spontaneous. But what if someone goes, man, I got really, really lucky I didn't get into a fight. What if I would have pushed him? He would have fell, hit his head on the concrete. Now he starts bleeding out from his head. What if we would have gotten into a scuffle? I would have found that he was super, super younger than he looked. Next thing you know, I'm handcuffed. What if we get into a scuffle? I don't know. He's got 5 buddies behind him. So sometimes, my friends, when we talk about overthinking, there's different ways to look at it. Now, the immediate thought with overthinking is it's negative. But I rarely, correct me if I'm wrong, I rarely hear people, maybe overthinking isn't the correct term, and if it's not, DM me or comment on the video, let me know, or whatever, on however you want to review it on the podcast form. But what is it when you think about a situation, but you think about all the ways that you got lucky instead of unlucky, right? Where you fail a test and instead of going, oh, I should have, answered A instead of B, you go, oh, I felt confident about the first 2 questions. Do you kind of get what I mean? Like looking back in gratitude as opposed to looking back in resentment. The glass half empty versus the glass half full, right? So really, my friends, I think a big instigator of overthinking is wanting to find a solution and wanting to have an answer for everything. I think that is the underlying key. And one thing that we have to understand is we're not going to have a solution for everything, right? Sometimes you won't know why someone acted out. Sometimes you won't know why your boss did that. And that's okay. You might not be able to figure it out, but that doesn't mean you should be awake until 2 a.m. pulling out your hair. If it's really bothering you, if it's really on your mind, I'm not saying, oh, Daniel's saying if I'm overthinking, just don't think about it. That's not what I'm saying, my friends. That's like saying, hey, do you know how to swim? No. Okay, just jump in, just do it. Just don't think about it. Like, no, that's not what I'm saying. But what I mean to articulate is this idea of, listen, the reason why you overthink is because you are looking for a solution. Maybe if instead of thinking about it out here, talk to someone, talk to a friend, talk to a parent, talk to a peer, whatever you have to do, because this way you can talk to someone and they can hopefully bring the more, they can hopefully keep you grounded. They can hopefully keep you on your feet and go, hey, listen, this pattern of thinking really is not serving to your interests. It's actually being a pretty big detriment to you. So I would just cut it here. They would help you get to a decision. So if there's something on your mind, my friends, do not feel bad if you don't find an answer. If you're upset, or if someone else is upset and you don't have it immediately, if you can, ask them. If not, don't sweat it. It won't be the end of the world, right? It is possible to be able to go on with the unknown.